صبرت انا صبرت. المطار طلع المطار شغل وين؟ ماشي دور. صبرت انا صبرت.
Have not rung, but there are red alerts all over the state of Israel at this time, and these interceptors that are being launched by the Israeli military, again, are threefold. We have the Iron Dome missile defense system, which is the most commonly sirens. In this part of Tel Aviv, you can still see the activity in the sky, and it is quite active. The interceptors are coming from different Israeli military bases. And again, the Iron Dome is stationed in many different locations across the country. But there are also other air defenses that are near other airfields for this type of reason specifically. And the Israeli army said that they would deploy those resources when it came to a situation like this. The Israeli army has never been faced with this type of weaponry that has entered its airspace, and as a result, they have closed their airspace. They have landed all civilian flights. The airspace is completely closed. There was roars of Israeli fighter jets in the air earlier in the evening, and it's part of this multi-layered defense mechanism that they're talking about in order to shoot down these drones and potentially these ballistic, perhaps cruise missiles that are also coming towards Israeli airspace.
Hamda, we're also hearing, and this is according to the AP news agency, and I believe that you were saying this a moment ago as well. So air raid sirens are sounded in Jerusalem as explosions are heard in the skies above. And we're looking at the live picture right now from West Jerusalem. You're speaking to us, though, from Tel Aviv. Talk us through what sort of preparations were being made by the Israeli military in anticipation of an Iranian attack. And do you think that this is what they expected?
Well, the Israelis said that they were prepared for a wide variety of scenarios, and in fact, they were ready for anything that could happen. And just this evening, Homefront Command, that is an extension of the Israeli military, had issued an abundance of new guidelines. In fact, there was a protest going on in Tel Aviv in the evening that the police had shut down because of 11 o'clock this evening. They said that there would be no gatherings of more than 1,000 people. Schools were closed. Different work sectors were closed as well for the next 2 days in anticipation for this attack that they said was imminent. And the Israelis were expecting a response, and that's because of their airstrikes on the Iranian consulate in Damascus on April 1st. They knew they were anticipating this kind of response. Perhaps they didn't know the size and the scale and the type of weaponry that would be used, but nonetheless, a response and a retaliation from the Iranians was promised. The Israelis say that they are partnering with regional allies and additionally the United States and the United Kingdom. In fact, the Israeli army is reporting that several drones were already shot down before they had reached Israeli airspace. You're looking here at more active interceptions that are happening in the sky. And what's falling here is the shrapnel that will land in different areas. Now, where that is happening over, sirens are also ringing. And when that happens, Israeli authorities say for people to go into these protected areas for a minimum of 10 minutes unless told otherwise. They usually get these types of alerts on their phones. But again, all of the GPS and phone type systems are disrupted at this point, but you can just see it in the sky that this is clearly an active situation that the Israeli military is still saying could take hours. They were anticipating these types of drones coming in anywhere, reports indicated from 2 to 10 hours. So it still looks like it's going to be a long night ahead, as the Israelis say they have defense mechanisms that are stockpiled, they are ready to go, and they are prepared for any type of scenario.
Okay, Hamda, we'll let you go for now. Thank you. We'll bring in Rory Challenge from occupied East Jerusalem. And Rory, can you confirm, just tell us what's happening there, because we're hearing air raid sirens go off in Jerusalem and explosions above the skies. What do you see and hear?
Yeah, exactly that. For the last 10 minutes or so, we've been looking out from the balcony here across the Jerusalem skyline. We've seen a succession of air defense interceptors going up from various points around the city to meet targets in the sky. And then still going on, there's a sort of dull thud going around the skyline across the city as well as interceptions are made. About 10 minutes ago as well, the air raid siren went off and now the police seem to be going around on the streets in their cars with an announcement going out, which we assume is telling people to go to their nearest air raid shelters as quickly as they can. So this is the situation in Jerusalem at the moment. It seems to be calmer right now, but there could well be another barrage of drones coming in and on the way. We are seeing basically Israel under attack from Iranian projectiles right now.
What sorts of advice or preparations has the government, or, I mean, you were just mentioning the police telling people to go to shelters. What more have they told people to do?
Well, I mean, they've basically been telling people not to panic. They have been issuing various restrictions on movements and things like that. They have told people that they shouldn't be gathering anywhere in Israel in groups larger than 1,000 people. They've been saying that schools, universities, daycare, etc., is going to be closed for the next 2 days. And they have been saying to everyone to listen to the advice for when the air raid sirens go off, to go to those shelters and to take shelter for as long as is necessary. But the advice has been just to sort of take it calmly and not to get too worried about things. The military has been telling people that the air defense systems that Israel have, that's the Iron Dome, that is David's. See for the camera to pick out, but there was another interceptor going up there, so obviously the threats are still coming in. Yeah, as I was saying, the Americans were here. The general in charge of U.S. Central Command was here to liaise with the Israelis and build up their kind of intelligence picture of what might be coming. So these are the kind of things that Israel has been doing. And the government has been insisting to people that the country is as prepared as it could possibly be, but warning them that air defense is not infallible. However competent it is, something might well get through.
All right, Rory Challenge there, live for us in occupied East Jerusalem. Rory, we'll no doubt come back to you a little bit later. For our viewers just joining us here, it's just gone past 2300 GMT. We're bringing you continuing coverage of Iran launching its retaliatory attack on Israel. Iran's Revolutionary Guards have launched its first wave of missiles, as you've been seeing on our screens. Air raid sirens, as Rory was telling us there in occupied East Jerusalem, are sounding, and rockets have been intercepted above cities across Israel, including Tel Aviv and West Jerusalem. A senior U.S. official has told the American media they believe as many as 400 to 500 drones and missiles will be launched towards Israeli territory. Well, Tehran says it's a response to Israel's bombing of the Iranian consulate in Damascus in Syria. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu is meeting with his war cabinet in Tel Aviv. Israeli
Well, Darren, I think this is first a explanation being provided by Iran's permanent mission to the world, in invoking Article 51 of the UN Charter, which states the country's right to self-defense, but also saying that the matter is concluded, hinting that should there be any further escalation, it is on the part of the Israelis that it would come, and also warning the United States that they should stay away from this conflict, that this is between Israel and Iran, and that they should not get involved. So a few things to take away from this post on X by Iran's permanent mission. Certainly from what we've been hearing over the past few hours, first, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, who are carrying out this attack against Israel, calling this mission a true promise, that is the name of it. They say that they've launched drones and missiles towards Israel as a result of their aggression, and that this decision was made by Iran's Supreme National Security Council